Well, looks like we're getting to this point now. It looks like the CEO of Nintendo, Doug Bowser, apparently is now going to be stepping down. Yeah, apparently, I guess he's going to be stepping down from Nintendo, and somebody else is going to be put in charge. So I'm going to be talking about that. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you guys can hear my thoughts, on news, and all that, by pop culture news and stuff. I don't really talk about this stuff as much anymore, but, I've been uploading a bit of videos lately, but there has been a lot of stuff, happening in 2025, but there hasn't been really a lot to talk about in terms of thoughts, because a lot of stuff hasn't really, gotten a lot better in, Hollywood and, in the industry entirely. Now, Nintendo is not really, part of that, but, they're the gaming industry, but, they are part of entertainment and all that. But, I'm going to talk about that. But like I said, please subscribe to my channel. If you guys don't like me talking about this stuff, you guys can click off the video. I do other stuff. I do reviews. I do reviews. I do a lot of stuff, And also you guys can follow me on, Instagram, and /threads, because, Threads and Instagram are kind of the same thing, I believe, so, that's what I was dealing with and all that. I shouldn't probably be explaining it in every single video, but there's new audiences coming in, so, I gotta do that. And also, you guys can follow me on, Twitter /X, or I guess X, because it's called X now. You guys can do that too, but yeah, I would really appreciate, if you guys can follow me over there. It's good to have some backup accounts in case something were to happen and all that, apparently the CEO of Nintendo, though, is, stepping down. And, they're gonna have a new CEO taking over, like I said. I forgot her name. Let me actually look that up real quick, because I forgot her name. Okay, so apparently that's who's replacing her. Her name's, let's see, Devon, I don't know how, Perchind, or, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. I'm not very, Devin, or I don't know, I would say it's Devin, but I don't know. But she apparently is going to be, taking over. Yeah, she's gonna take over for, Doug Bowser, because, he's stepping down and all that, and, the only reason why I remember Doug Bowser's name is because Doug is a very popular name, and, it's also one of the, one of the famous YouTubers. I know some people are split on him, but he's the channel awesome, YouTuber. That's his name, his channel name, the channel awesome, he's basically, his content is good. I'll say it's kind of split, on my opinion. But I know people are kind of split on the guy. He has done some collabs with, people in the past, including, Phantom Strider, in the past. I told you guys I'm not really part of Phantom Strider anymore, but I figured, I'd bring that up, because you guys probably have seen him in Phantom Strider's videos, if you guys watched them, and all that. That's how I know him, and of course, Bowser, the turtle, Koopa guy from, Mario, that's how I know his name, I know his name from that, I know him because of that, but yeah, he has done a lot of collabs, but he does make some good content. Yeah, I'll say sometimes I will say his older content was not as good as his newer content, but I do like his some of his content, especially his Scooby Doo reviews. Some of those were really funny, but you guys can check him out, I guess, if you guys want. But yeah, if you guys might already know who he is, but he does a lot of reviews. But anywho, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. But that's how I know this guy. The other person, I have no idea who she is. Apparently she's been in the company for a long time, though. A long, long time. She's been there for a long time, and the thing is, though, is she's been there for a long time, but he's actually, I mean, even though he's an older looking guy, he actually has not been there as long as she has. Actually, he took over as the CEO after the last CEO passed away. I forgot his name, but he actually passed away. I probably would try to pronounce his name, but wouldn't be able to do it. I might try to show you guys him real quick, because why not? Here you go. I guess his name's Reggie. So I guess you can pronounce his name a little bit. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Wait. Why is it showing Doug Bowser though? That's I don't know. Why is it showing him? Okay, that's not what I was thinking of. Hold on, that's not what I was thinking of. Hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the person I was thinking of. Now you may know him because he actually was the CEO. Now I figured I'd show you guys him because I haven't really showed him off before. But he was the CEO for a little while there. But it says, it was president and CEO of Nintendo during the Wii U's lifespan, serving from 2002 until his passing in 2015. He notably took a 50% pay cut in 2014, along with another executives taking smaller cuts to terminate to the company during the Wii U struggles instead of restoring to layoffs. But yeah, that's basically what happened there. I don't really see how he passed away though. Oh, it looks like he had cancer and all that. Yeah, that's actually kind of sad. He actually passed, he was diagnosed in 2014. That's actually crazy. Sorry with me trying to, hold the video up there, but I wanted to kind of show you guys the CEO, and I was curious to, when he how he passed away. There was somebody at Nintendo that passed away from a car accident, and I thought maybe that was him, but no, it was not. But that is very sad. He was not super old. I mean, he was middle age. I would say 50s or middle age, but that's still not very old. That's still not super old, But when he passed away, this guy, I believe he took over the company. He took over it, when the other guy passed away. And you can literally tell how bad this company has struggled when this guy kind of took over. You can really tell. Even when the Switch came out, it may not have been as noticeable, but, you notice the console was a lot more lazier, people are coming out and starting to say it now. People are, I think I've mentioned this, that people are gonna, look back on the Switch, which I didn't think it was gonna happen this fast, but, people are coming out and saying the Switch, looking back at the Switch and starting to realize it's not as good as the Wii U when it comes to the console. Game-wise, I think people are gonna like the games a bit more, but the console, yeah, the console itself kind of sucks. Now, I can't say, entirely, because I played some games on it, but I've not played a ton of games. But I can say the same thing probably for a lot of consoles, too. But in terms of, the consoles themselves, what they offered, yeah, the Wii U is so much better. Some people are saying, like, there's no point of owning a Wii U, because, you have the Switch. But I'm like, the Wii U was more than just another gaming console. It had great music, it had the Miis and all that, which, I mean, the Switch has got a Mii Maker in it, but they actually, perform on stage when you're on the browser, which, I mean, I think the internet you can still activate the internet on there, I believe. You can still activate it. You can actually activate it on the DSi, too. You can actually activate it there. But, even though the online stuff is closed down, you can still activate it, which is kind of weird. Yeah, that is kind of crazy, kind of what happened there and all that. And then, but you noticed, like I said, the Switch, the menu sucks. There's no theme to it. It's boring as hell, and that's not all. The games are, like, a lot more expensive now. I mean, to be fair, I guess they were, like, $60 or something when the Wii U was a thing. But, yeah, I think, they were, like, $60. But you could still get deals on them because they would go off price over time and all that. And, I mean, even when he passed away, they were doing that a little bit. But once I got to the Switch, they basically quit offering these deals and all that. And also, I started noticing, too, like you guys saw, he passed away in 2015. Yeah, he passed away in 2015. And, this is actually before they started shutting down the shops and all that on the older consoles. So I just want to clarify that, yeah, it's started happening after he passed away. Now, maybe, running a lot of, like, I think I've talked about this before, that maybe running too many shops can cost a lot of money, but also, some of these games, that were on these older consoles run better or have features of the older consoles that the newer ones do not, So it's like they basically shut that all down, and I told you how, like, I was really pissed when they fucking closed the 3DS and the Wii U shops down at the same time. I'm like, why the hell would you guys do that? Like, seriously, why the hell would you guys close down both the Wii U and the 3DS at the same time, and not only the same time, not offer anybody a damn deal on these games? I mean, some of them were, priced down, but that's only because, well, they already were offering deals to begin with, so they didn't really offer anything. And how even the 3DS, like, how come you can't access the freaking theme shop still? They should make that just free, I mean, you could say, well, then maybe it might not encourage people to buy the newer crap anyway. But, I'm like, number one, the Switch, they don't have any themes anyway. And number two, not only they don't have that, but I'm like, people would still have a reason to buy the newer consoles. Give them different themes, I don't know. Or, like, again, it's just so stupid, they've been doing all these mistakes. And it doesn't even stop there. It's like, it keeps getting worse and worse. And now we got the Switch 2 out. Honestly, the Switch 2 is not doing very good. Like, it is not doing good at all. Like, there's still a bunch of places that have them, and yeah, there are people that are gonna buy them. I told you guys, people are gonna buy the thing. It's gonna sell very well at first, and then it's gonna start declining. And that's exactly what's happening. It's declining. It's starting to kind of decline. And yeah, it's sold over, 6 million, units, which is not, it's just funny, it's not really giving you an estimate exactly how many have been sold. But I'm like, that's still not great, and I mean, yeah, that's more than the Wii U, sold, but by now, the console's been out for months, I figured, by now it would be selling more. And people who have bought the console are saying that it's not really that good. I mean, yeah, it looks nicer and some stuff runs better, but that's about it. And by looking at the console myself from, images and what they were showing, it just looks like a better Switch. It doesn't look like they did anything new with it, There's no screen recording, which pisses me off as somebody who is a Let's Player. It pisses me off. There's no screen recorder like the PS5 and the Xbox, have. I mean, what has a 30-second screen recorder, but again, I'm like, the original Switch had that too, and I'm just like, why record for 30 seconds? Especially when the freaking 3DS could do, record for like 10 minutes. And I mean, it's not screen recording, but still. And then on top of that, you got the PS5 and the Xbox that can screen record way longer. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. It just doesn't make much sense to me, and the thing is, though, too, is they're pricing crap out. I mean, they got Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, which, by the way, I think is actually going to I believe it's going to the original Switch, which is very weird, like, you would think they would want to put the games on the new console. But I guess, to be fair, they kind of made the same mistake with the Wii U, too, in a way, with the 3DS and all that. Where they put, like, really good games, like, I mean, I know people were kind of split on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, but a lot of people did play that game, but that game could have probably gone to the Wii U instead of the 3DS, and all that. I will say it runs really well on it, but I will say, I think that probably would have boosted the Wii U better if it had more games to offer and all that, and that's the thing, though, it's just like they made mistakes like that in the past, but that was also another set of, that was the handhelds. They're supposed to be discontinuing the Switch here, and focusing on the Switch 2, and, I shouldn't be complaining, because I'm like, I don't really want to buy a Switch 2 right now anyway, but I'm like, that's definitely making me not want to buy one if, you're putting all these great games on the Switch 1, It feels like it doesn't make any sense. And then you're price gouging people. Like, people are bitching about the Mario Galaxy game is costing $70. Which I will give them credit. It's less than, the $80, the others have, because when they released 3D All-Stars on the original Switch, people, were complaining that it should be lower than, what it was, because it was like $60, which, I mean, to be fair, that's not really for like 3 games, that's actually not a bad deal, because that would be like $20 each, so that's not a bad deal, but this one's like $75. So I guess in a way it'd be a bit more, but it's still, or also 70, but it's still, really expensive. And then they got the Amiibos too. The Amiibos they're trying to sell you are a lot more expensive too. Now I can tell you guys, a lot of people a lot of people are questioning, like, why make Amiibos? And people are saying that they're kind of worthless. I will say, I think they look very nice. And I will say I do like the idea of having them, if you use them, you can use them on other games too, and you can actually, so you don't have to collect, like, every single one, they're just more of a show, but you can, like, use them, because I actually used them on some games in the past, and it's actually really fun, to have, some secret things you can have in the games, so I like the idea of Amiibos, but I don't like that they're really expensive now. Like, I think, like, they're like, what was it, like $40 or $50 now or something like that? That's, like, freaking expensive for these damn Amiibos. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous how expensive they're getting, and and all that. But I mean, there's gonna be people who are probably gonna buy them for review stuff and all that. But I think for the I think for the most part, people are just not going to buy the stuff and all that, and it's just they're gonna have to either lower the prices or do something. But I think at this point, I think the CEO here, Doug Bowser, I think he knows the company is getting ready to get hit here. He's basically gonna do what Bob Iger did with Disney. He's going to I know it's funny I'm using them as a reference, but this is kind of honestly what he did. Right before COVID got bad, Bob Iger left the company. Now again, there are still some speculations on he left the company and all that, supposedly retiring, but it felt like it was last minute. It was all last minute and all that, and when he did all this, and COVID was getting ready to hit, and it kind of feels like that's what's happening, here. He knows the company's getting bad. Now, unlike Bob Iger, he is giving more of a couple months of a notice, but that's not really a lot. He's gonna be exiting the company in December here. I think it's November or December. That's not really that far off from now, and because September is pretty much over at this point, and then we got October and November, and then December he's gone. It just feels very, very weird, and all that, and I don't know. I mean, maybe he's retiring, but I don't know, but I'm sure he'll get a freaking big fat paycheck for being, not a very good CEO. And all that. That's the problem with these CEOs. That's the problem. They run these fucking companies into the ground, and then and what happens is they get rewarded for being shitty people. That's what happens, and it's like this in the fast food industry too, I'm sure even Crackle Barrel, I'm sure the the gal there, she's gonna get a fat paycheck or they're gonna give her some money to get her to leave or something like that, or they do this with McDonald's too. They got a shitty CEO there and all that, and these CEOs somehow have all this power and run these companies into the ground, and then by the time things get really bad, instead of trying to take responsibility and fix it, They rather not fix their own mistakes and make somebody else fix it, and then take the money instead. And that's kind of the problem. But, yeah, I don't know. But I don't know if this new CEO will do anything to fix the company, because it sounds like she was a fan of what of him and all that. I'm not sure, she could be just saying that too, so she has the way to get power, and then does other stuff to change the company up. But honestly, a lot of times, these CEOs usually hire people that act like them, and then they end up doing the exact same bullshit they were doing before and all that, and it's just ridiculous. Like I said, it's ridiculous, and I don't know. I don't know if things will get better or not, but they need to do something, because this is not good. This is definitely not good, and all of that, and now, I don't know if Nintendo will go back to the way they were before or not, but I do miss older Nintendo and all that. I mean, a lot of people would say maybe they probably have certain errors they like. I don't know. I think I kind of like the 2000s era of Nintendo. Especially when they started getting into the Wii and all that, because then they started kind of especially the DSi, they started giving us, adding interesting features to the consoles and all that, and yeah, the Wii U was a failure, and all that, but it wasn't advertised well. If it was advertised better, I think it would have done a lot better, I mean, again, it wasn't the greatest line of games though, but it would have done better, you know. But you know, yeah, but I don't know. But this is kind of just not really the greatest. This doesn't seem like this is going to be the greatest thing, you know. I think like even putting somebody else in charge. I don't know if it will fix the company or not, but I guess we're just gonna have to play this one out and see what happens, you know. Because like I said, I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I've seen this trend done before, you know, and that's the problem, you know. It's like, again, these CEOs, like, there's like they should be able to get fired, or people should be to force them out. But somehow it's like they have all this power and all that, you know. And I mean, to be fair, crap has gotten, like, Nintendo has had problems, you know, before, but like, you know, in all that. And I mean, I think they always have had problems. I mean, you know, during New Super Mario Bros. Wii era, which is ironic, I just reviewed that game, but I actually didn't bring that up in there. But apparently some person was playing that game. I think it was that game. Yeah, I think it was that game, and I guess he got it early, and I guess he didn't know it was early, and then Nintendo, the lawyers or somebody broke into his house and stole all his crap, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that it is technically illegal, and it's trespassing, you know. And some people are like, well, they shouldn't be stealing it, but I'm like, he didn't steal anything, and even then, I'm like, you should be taking people to court, not doing all that. That's kind of trespassing, you know, but that's what I heard and all that, but yeah, that's just kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know if that was entirely true, but that was kind of, you know, that, but you know, they've also done, you know, things like, they have done things like, you know, have messed with, you know, people with YouTube and all that too. They've done that too. And, you know, and all that too. You know, they mess with channels and Let's Players and all that too in the past, and we're trying to, you know, and all that. And I think at some point in time, they actually blamed the Let's Players for failures of some of their stuff, and, you know, and all that. I'm like, actually, Let's Players actually encourage people to play some of these games. And you can't really blame Let's Players. It's like watching your family or your relatives, you know, play games. See, I'm more of I mean, I don't really care for Nintendo right now. I'm not really the biggest fan of their company, but back in the day, I liked Nintendo games more, and I wish my dad would play more Mario, but he played more, I mean, he played like Zelda and all, but he played more games from like the Xbox and the PlayStation stuff, you know, like Sony and all that, and less of Nintendo. So I wanted to have somebody to watch Let's Play games, and that's kind of what happened there. You know, I got into that, you know, and that's what encouraged me to play some of these games. You know, but I'm just saying, it's basically, again, like if you're taking away, you know, Let's Players, you're basically telling your relatives they can't watch other relatives play games, and what you're basically saying, you know. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, that hasn't been really a big problem lately. But yeah, and there was that too. But it definitely feels like lately they've been kind of hitting the ceiling. Oh yeah, and I forgot too. They also not only, you know, Charles Martinet, you know, the voice of Mario was gone. Which, you know, it's funny because, you know, Charles Martinet was, you know, suddenly, because basically, at first he was, like, talking about, like, not very long before that happened, he was talking about how he wanted to do it until, you know, he couldn't anymore pass away, and, what happened was, it seemed like he was enjoying his job, but then suddenly he just stepped down. They said he could have retired, but it seems like he was still doing the work afterwards. So they probably wanted to hire somebody younger, because that's what happened with the voice actor of Princess Peach too. She you know, like, which that actually happened during this, right after the Switch came out. Yeah, they had her like, you know, get laid off too, and she was she wasn't even notified. So it basically they didn't even she doesn't even know why she was fired, and they didn't even notify her and all that. So it felt like they wanted to just. So it's like maybe they were trying to cut cost or something, but I'm like that's just disrespectful, you know. I mean, you shouldn't be just firing people. I mean, even if you're trying to cut cost, you shouldn't be firing people like that. That just makes you look bad, you know. But yeah, I don't know. But there's some weird crap going on. But I don't know if he was part of that mess or not with the CEO or something. I don't know. I don't know who fires what, but it's usually the higher ups that do that. But sometimes I think sometimes they can have the actors get fired by the showrunners too. So but usually I think it's the higher ups that do that kind of stuff. But I don't know. But the fact that there's all this crap going on and we got this and then we got him leaving, yeah, I don't know, it doesn't look very good. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm probably gonna go ahead and let things go from here. I know I've already said that, but I had some more things to say because I forgot to bring some stuff up. Also, I hope you guys, I decided to move my picture over here. I figured I would try something a little bit different instead of having it all the way on the other side. I don't know if I like it on the left or the right side better, but I just wanted to kind of, see there. But anywho, though, tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.